healing itself almost miraculously without explanation of just about every single disease. So we know that the human body has the capability of doing this. It's only now that we're beginning to understand and isolate in the field of psychoneuroimmunology that there is a direct, absolutely a proven direct connection between the human psyche and the immune system. So Dr. Sue has been practicing this, and very skillfully, to the point now where Dr. Sue now has a Seth clinic in Taiwan, and he treats both physical and mental disease, and it's extremely popular, so to speak. I mean, it's hard to get an appointment there, and the reason why is because he's getting results. Now, I was over there, and he would just bring people up to me, and he used to bring people up with his lectures also, and I would be talking to somebody, who had been given 3 months to live, and now it's 10 years later, and they're still alive. I would talk to someone who had cancer, and now they're cancer-free. And this was done after, in some cases, after the medical profession had basically said there's nothing more we can do. So it was pretty amazing. But I want your listeners to understand that there is this field called psychoneuroimmunology, and it's a legitimate scientific field. And what's going on right now is we're just beginning to understand the real cause behind illness. And in fact, the whole medical profession as a whole has not yet caught up to this. They haven't caught up yet to the actual research that already exists. But it's not going to be that much longer now before they do.
How do you think the Western medical community is going to say about Dr. Sue's method? Having since it's dealing with psychological and spiritual growth, and not here's a pill, call me tomorrow morning kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I think that everybody kind of knows that the medical community, as in other communities, they're a little slow on the uptake. Mm-hmm. That is, you have a lot of, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of financial interests involved in the whole, in every profession,
sure.
But certainly in the medical profession as well. And you have pharmaceutical companies that have interests. There's all kinds of reason why things change slowly. The thing is, though, this is too important for us to change slowly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we really have to start looking at the research here and see what's already been discovered. Now, it is happening. You're finding more and more hospitals, actually, that are starting to have, I guess, what they call an alternative medicine aspect to it, because they have discovered without any question whatsoever that psychosocial factors affect the immune system. Now, this would include depression, anxiety, loneliness, lack of social support,
stress.
These things have been demonstrated time and time again now to downgrade the immune system. And if you change these things, you can literally change your genes. You can literally change your genes. There was a study done by Dr. Dean Ornish, and this was presented at the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, 2008. And what they discovered is that if you change, they tried an intervention, and that intervention included, it did include diet, low fat, and we should talk about diet later because the metaphysical description of that is different. But they had low fat foods, plant-based nutrition, stress management, moderate exercise, and participation in the psychosocial group support, which would counteract some of the things like loneliness or depression or feelings of lack of social support. In the study, they found that over 500 genes actually changed. In fact, certain disease-preventing genes were upregulated or turned on. So, and then other genes that promote genes, they were turned off. So I don't know if your listeners know about the epigenetics and the theories in genetics now, but it turns out that genes get turned on and off all the time due to current conditions. so that the theory that, because your parents got cancer, therefore you are more likely to do so, it's actually been challenged by this whole by the discoveries. And from the metaphysical perspective, what's getting inherited is not so much a genetic disposition as a psychological disposition. You see, and most people just wouldn't consider that. Well, what about the fact that you might have inherited a certain kind of psychology? And remember, psychology can be manipulated and changed. You are not subject to the same psychology that your parents gave you, so to speak.
What inspired Dr. Sue to write his book, The Secret Healing to Cancer?
So, Dr. Sue is, he's the guy. I have to say, he's the cutest guy I ever saw. The last time I saw him was a couple of years ago. He's 42. He looks like he's like 28. Really, I swear. And he's small. I don't know, maybe 5'4" or 5'5". I don't know. And he is dedicated to sharing this knowledge. It's like he's discovered that he's a doctor. He's trying to help all these people, and he's discovered the way to actually do it. And the way to actually do it is to understand first and foremost that if you have a physical illness, it is a reflection. And now this is the metaphysical principle, okay? So now I'm going to go into the metaphysics a little bit. And is that if you have a physical illness, it is a reflection of an inner problem, an inner blockage or repressed emotion or a unhappiness. Now, and that the key to treating illness is treating the heart, so to speak, is treating your belief systems, is treating your psyche, is making your psyche healthy, and to unleash the immune system. And now this goes back, by the way, and I'm just hearkening back to the science, just so that people don't think that this is just woo stuff. As early as 1994, they did a study which showed that the induction of positive affect, that is, a positive mood or happiness, can lead to an increase in NK cells. These are natural killer cells that can fight cancer, etc.
All right, Rick, we've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Sure. Please stand by. Exonation, Rick Stack is my guest. He is the publisher of The Secret to Healing Cancer by Dr. Chen-Sheng Su, and the website to visit is www.sethcenter.com. And Rick and I will be back on the other side of this news break as we continue around the world from our broadcast center here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Rick Stack is my special guest this hour, X Zone Nation. He is the publisher of The Secret to Healing Cancer, www.sethcenter.com. Rick, in all the time that you've been working on this project with Dr. Sue, has there anything that has just boggled your imagination that this man has done?
Well, it's kind of blown my mind because I've been working on promoting the Seth material in the United States for years. The Seth material was really big in the late 1970s. And many people attribute that to the origin of the whole New Age movement. But Jane passed away, 1984, I believe. And so since that time, because Seth was not around to promote his own material, it's been challenging, particularly in the face of the many voices that are in the spiritual movement. And but Dr. Sue has managed to somehow expand the reach of the submaterial tremendously, so that the submaterial is just literally booming and blossoming in Taiwan and also in China. And China itself, mainland China, is one of the biggest number of hits that we get on our website, SethCenter.com. And this is happening because Dr. Sue is going over and speaking about how to heal cancer and other diseases, and then introducing people to the Seth material. And by the way, I just want to mention that the book Seth Speaks and The Nature of Personal Reality by Jane Roberts, those are the two Seth books to start with. And although Seth Speaks is just great on the inner self, The Nature of Personal Reality actually is considered the classic on how to manipulate thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and sort of the Bible of the law of attraction. And it's something to look into, because that indeed is the main cause. I mean, if you want to simplify things, and this is a simplification, and this is a quote from Seth, poor health is indeed caused mainly by habitual destructive thought patterns, which directly affect the physical system. Illnesses must be treated primarily by changing the basic mental habits, for unless this is done, the trouble will erupt time and time again in different guises. Okay? So now that is a general statement. Now he goes into this in a lot more depth, because in most cases, in many cases, we're also dealing, what happens is when you have destructive thought patterns, you're actually wind up repressing your energy. And this, you could be repressing your life, or repressing various aspects of your life. So you sort of have to look at your life as well as your belief systems and the thought patterns. And that's what the book, The Nature of Personal Reality and The Secret to Healing Cancer, that's what it addresses. An individual self-examining. It's a self-examination to discover what you're focusing on in your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs, and to learn how to sort of cure those, or heal them, or think of it as manipulating them, because that's what you're really doing. And understanding the origin of the problems, which it's a little involved, and I'll be happy to go into that too.